Namaste. Today we will analyze a palm of a person who is a male, of course, and he's constantly suffering from depression. And usual questions which he has asked is, when will he get success? He is already a master's in mathematics, and he wants to do PhD in a foreign country, maybe US or UK or whatever. So he's asking when and how things will improve and what is the cause for his depression, astrologically. Now have a look at this palm first. Okay, I'll zoom in. Look at this palm first. You will see that this palm has some weird characteristics which, if you observe carefully, you will understand. Secondly, we will have a look at the chart. The chart here also, you can see that Dhanu Lagna, and Lagnesh is in Lagna with Mercury, that is Budh, and the second house is where Mars is exalted, and the most important part is the fourth house, which is the Sukhasthan, where there is Ketu. Fourth house is also for mental peace, mental poise. Whenever person suffers from depression or home related problems or problems to the mother, problems to the mind, all of it stems from fourth house. But the Karak is also equally important. You can see that the moon here is in the seventh. Moon is the lord of eighth, and it is in seventh. It aspects the Lagna and the Lagnesh. But most importantly, if you look at the moon from a Nadi perspective, the moon is trapped between Rahu and Ketu. That means in Bhrigu Nadi, this is very important, that whenever any graha is trapped alone, doesn't have any graha to the right or left or before and after, it's like Parashari also, but even in Bhrigu Nadi, it is important to see how the graha is placed. In this case, it is moon which is placed, and it is it is trapped between Rahu and Ketu. Okay, so obviously the karakatwas of moon and the fourth house need to be looked into. Where is this moon aspecting? And the moon is aspecting the Lagna, therefore the self, and it is aspecting the Lagnesh. Unfortunately, the dasha of Lagnesh is operating at this point of time. Therefore, the moon is aspecting the Lagnesh, and hence it will create trouble. This is about astrology. But now, let us go deep into the palm. The first thing that you must note here is that the Mars is exalted. Therefore, something needs to be seen about the headline. Obviously, headline and the origin of the headline, the orientation of the headline, it all shows what? It shows the positioning of the Kuja or the Mars. Now, I have drawn a Nadi chart here. You can see this is the Nadi chart. In this case, in this case we will have to look at this part. This is the Mars. Okay, it is exalted. Therefore, what we have to see here is that, look at the green lines that I've drawn. You can see that this part, this is one headline. It originates from the Aries area, Mars area. Okay, that is one headline drawn in green. One headline is this one which I have drawn straight. Okay, and one headline has a fork. Unfortunately, this fork stops here, it doesn't go further. Now, what happens to this fork is, this fork, you can see that there is a connection here. It tries to reach the sun mount, but in between it gets obstructed with the Jupiter Rekha or heart line. Alright, that is one part. Now, you can see that the heart line or the Guru Rekha is also broken, and it reaches the periphery of, or rather it touches the finger, the third phalange. It is broken, it gets touched by the headline, it reaches this part. The headline has three diversions. One important diversion or one important origin is from this part. Now all these show a very very sensitive person, oversensitive person, a person who overreacts, a person who lacks self confidence, a person who gets emotional, a person who can get carried away by little things in his life. Okay, this is to be noted. Now we will come to the astropalmistry predictive part here. Okay, this is about the palmistry part. So you can see that the headline has a bifurcation. There are three headlines actually. In fact, this is a very faulty headline. This is dangerous because this type of headline is not auspicious. It creates hurdles. Although the person is intelligent because of these variations of headlines, but he's hyperactive, hypersensitive person. Okay, this is the negative part of it. This is a very good headline. This is a very good headline. It stops here and it is sharp. Usually when the headline stops, it should not be blunt. Okay, it should not be blunt. Let me see whether I can show. Yeah, it is not blunt, it is sharp. In the original diagram it is sharp. Okay, coming to the predictive part, you can see that the nadi chart here shows that the Jupiter at age of 28, because this nadi chart is derived from the palm, remember. Therefore it is not the transit or the gochar Jupiter as it is practiced in the other nadi systems. No, it is not the transit. Remember, let me rephrase it. This is not the transit Jupiter. Okay, this is the Jupiter which is based on the Jupiter's position is based on the hand or the palm lines. Now you can see at around 28 to 28 and a half, this is 28, this is 28 and a half, you know that you can see that there is an influence line. Now this influence line shows that there will be a good event in his life. What could be that good event? We have to analyze now how that event is. See, this Jupiter touches moon. As per Bhrigu Nadi, when there is moon and Jupiter interaction, there are changes in life or there are travels or there are displacements, etc., etc. This person wants to he's 27 years old. I forgot to tell you that he's 27 years old. So he asked me when I can travel abroad, when I can go for foreign studies, or I want to study abroad, etc. Now you can safely predict that there would be an event around 28 and a half. He's completed 27. He's 27 point around, I think 27 and a half plus. So I told him around 28 and a half there is a possibility that you will shift your current location where you are, hometown. Okay, now what could be the reason why he would shift can also be seen from this nadi chart. You can see that the Jupiter aspects the Mercury here. Mercury means learning. Mercury also means documentation. Mercury also means land, property. Mercury also means new friends. Mercury also means new neighbors. Mercury also means that the person is slowly going to learn something new. Alright, it means that the moment the Jupiter touches the moon, there is going to be some change in his life with respect to the learning, because it is in opposition. The opposition meaning what he is going to gain out of it. Now what happens is when the Jupiter is here, it also gets a trinal aspect from Venus and Saturn. No, without any doubt you can say that because it touches Venus, therefore touches means it trines with Venus, therefore there is going to be auspicious events. Because there is Shani here, no doubt it will create delays, but it will still ensure that he will go ahead and do something related to his career, because Shani in Brigu Nadi is Karma Karak. Okay, so this is how we interpret it. Now coming to the age 32, 33. He asked me when I will get success. So look at this. But before that, I think I also need to show you something. At at 30, although this picture is not very clear, at 30 there is a bubble shaped figure like this. See, like this, and it joins the rekha here. These lines. It joins these lines. Now this means around around 30.5 to 31, that is when the Jupiter is ingressing into Rahu. There could be health issues, there could be some mental tensions or health issues to the parents or to somebody else or to himself. The reason being, the moment the Jupiter has an ingresses in this part, it then obviously looks at Ketu with 7th, but more importantly, it makes a sambandha with Mars. In Brigunadi, we know that Mars causes problems to the health. Or it can cause injuries, or it can cause some kind of rivalries, again, or it can cause some tensions in life, whatever it is, some kind of uh, pressure in life. However, because there is Surya here, so they will get sorted out. As you can see in the palm also, there is not much problem there, so it can get sorted out. Okay, now then, as we move ahead into this palm, you can see that this line at 32.5 to 33, this is what I have written here. 32.5, this part, 32.5 to 33. I'm not saying 33, but around 32.5 to 33. That means when it is in Libra, Tula Rashi, the there would be for sure a big and major change in his life in terms of career. So the career will start picking up around 32.5. Okay, this is for sure because the line itself shows. However, he's again going to have problems with his health. The reason is, or mind. Health means, here it is the mental health that is in question here, because I told you the moon is trapped here. It is forever. The moment it trines, now when it is at 32.5, it trines with the moon and it trines with the Venus and Saturn. But when it trines with the moon, not touches, when it trines with the moon, it can create modifications, not necessarily sthan change, not necessarily change in place, but it can create tensions, because the moment moon is trined with Jupiter, it can create tensions. However, because it is trined with Venus, there is going to be a professional change. You understand, like professional change. Moon means changes, moon means parivartan, in Hindi. So, or sthan change, whatever, mind problems. So the change here is going to be positive, however it will create mental tension. This is how we look at it in Brigunite. So life is not linear, there are always problems in life here and there. Now, as the Jupiter approaches the age of 49, you can see this line here. This line is not good at all. Why? Because this line shows that person or the native will face legal issues, can face problems in marriage, can face problems from the government. It could be litigation of property, anything, whichever is as per the Deshkal Patra or Deshkal Paristhiti. So this is a possibility. This is a possibility. Okay. The other part which I find very interesting in this palm is that you can see that the fate line, okay, the fate line has a moon connection, no doubt. You can see it goes and drops into the moon mount. However, you can see that the sun line is wavy, but it reaches. The sun line is wavy, but it reaches here. Okay, this waviness is not good because it creates hurdles. It will give success, but with lot of struggles, lots and lots of struggle. This is a very auspicious sign, because the triangle, it shows that he will get a good job, a stable income after 32. okay, because the sun line has got a branch here. It also means, and you can see that there is a mouth of the sarpa. It shows that the sun is certainly affected by Rahu, which can be seen from the chart also. You can see the sun is trines with Rahu. Obviously, this, see, there are people who are born on the same day, will have the same chart, obviously, and you can't just say that the sun is affected by Rahu for everybody. No, in this case you can see this structure of the sun line and this part, and therefore you can safely predict, yes, this is active, this trinal relationship is active, okay, that you can safely predict. But more importantly, here you can see that the fate line or the Shani Rekha is connected to the Surya Rekha, okay, with an acute angle. It's a triangle, basically. This forms a triangle. You can say it is closed. This is closed by the heart line, okay. So this forms a triangle. The problem here is this line. This is not going to be helpful. See, when the sun line and the Shani Rekha are kind of closed, there should be no line from the Venus that should interfere in this. Venus is this mount, right? This part. It shows that somewhere the person will lose a big chunk, either fortune, success, name, fame. Not good. It reduces the fame. Explaining it in terms of the chart, you can see that the sun and the Saturn are very close by in the chart. The sun rekha, and the Saturn rekha are very close by in the chart. But chart cannot show the reality at times. The palm does show the reality. So how you interpret is very important. You can see that the Venus is also close to this particular sun Saturn. Okay, now have a look at this. I hope you understand what I'm trying to interpret here. So there is a reduction in the fate, reduction in fortune, reduction in, or you can say attenuation or some kind. So whenever there is a triangle, whenever these are closed, and if there is a line going in, it certainly reduces the fame, okay. So this is exactly what I wanted to explain. So in short, you can see that this person is going to be having depressive tendencies, mentally not very strong. I would always suggest that this guy goes for strong meditation or medication if possible, because it's a perennial problem. As you know that the moon is alone here, and it's trapped between Rahu and Ketu. So as per Brigunadi, this is not a very favorable sign. It aspects the Lagna, the Lagnesh, okay. It's an 8th lord, so 8th lord in 7th, you know what it is for marriage and etc. The 4th house here is having Ketu, 4th house is Sukhasthan, so there is always going to be problems with the Sukhasthan. The Saturn also is in the 3rd, alright. Saturn is also in the 3rd, so certainly there are certain issues here. Delays in success are seen because the Saturn also aspects the Bhagyasthan. Obviously there will be delays, slowing down, okay. So those things are there. Rahu in the 10th can mean that the person may have to look for foreign jobs. I mean, I'm just giving basic interpretations from the palm. Yes, it is seen here. You can see that he has to travel abroad for success, for sure. So we have to correlate the chart and the palm very nicely, so that you can do the interpretation. Absolutely, this sign is very good, but it shows that the person is idealistic. He expects too much from the spouse or from everybody, but at the same time he gets disappointed because the energy is broken. The Jupiter line is broken. You can say that here Jupiter line is broken by whom? The Jupiter line is broken because of the moon. Absolutely. So you can see that there is always this problem, and I'll tell you why it is broken by moon. I will have to explain that in astropalmistry terms. It is actually because you see this rekha, it shows like a arc, and it is trying to touch this part. Arc itself in astropalmistry shows Chandra. Chandra means moon. So you have to go deep into astropalmistry to be able to interpret things. So I just wanted to bring this part clear, so that you understand how astropalmistry is used in predictions. So thank you for watching this video, and I'm sure I'll get more palms which are interesting. The most important thing is the quality of the picture. I just don't like if the quality of the picture is not good. I just reject it. I just give some lame excuses to the person that I'm busy, etc. And I don't like people who continuously message me. I don't want to even interact with such people, because they are only looking to get their palm analyzed or chart analyzed. They're not here to learn something or interact and share something, you understand. So I don't want to interact with such people. I'm very rude in that case and blunt, because for me, I'm a researcher in astropharmacy. I'm not interested in all what you need continuously. You keep on messaging me, I'm not going to respond. Okay, I like people who are professional. I like people who want to know something and learn something genuinely. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I will come up with more palms in the future. Okay, thank you.